Hi, this is Kasem. Well, after going all the way to number 1 in Australia and Holland, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have finally hit the top 10 in their own country, the USA. The band from L.A. is doing it with a song called Under the Bridge, the very first top 40 hit in their entire 10-year career. Are the Peppers hot enough to streak past Joe Public, Bryan Adams, and even Criss Cross and score their first number 1? To find out, join us as we count down all the biggest hits in the USA on Casey's Top 40.
Number 3.
Climbing 6 notches, the biggest move within the top 10 this year is a band formed a decade ago by singer Anthony Kiedis and bass player Michael Balzari, the man who calls himself Flea. In 1988, after a series of personnel changes, guitar player John Frusciante and drummer Chad Smith came on board. And now, in 1992, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have their first top 10 hit. It's called Under the Bridge.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem on Casey's Top 40. Well, now we're up to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a band that travels with a doctor who doesn't use antibiotics or miracle drugs. He uses a form of traditional Chinese medicine that hasn't changed in 5,000 years. When the Red Hot Chili Peppers go on the road, they take along a sizable road crew, like most bands, but they also take along a crew member that you probably won't find traveling with any other groups. The Chili Peppers travel with an acupuncturist who heals their ailments and also gives them physical tune-ups to give them more energy. It's an energy they seem to carry into the studio as well, as they record songs like their current hit. At number 23 on Casey's Top 40, here are the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Love Roller Coaster.
American Top 40.
I'm Casey, and these are the biggest hits of the week. Well, now we're up to the latest hit by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a band whose lead singer went through a long battle with heroin. Though lead singer Anthony Kiedis doesn't like to dwell on it, in earlier days of the Chili Peppers, he had a serious problem with drugs. He finally decided he had to clean up his act after the band's original guitarist, Hillel Slovak, died of a heroin overdose in 1988. But Anthony's drug problems have never been that far behind him. These days, he's talking about his problems thanks to the work that he's doing for the organization called MAP, letters that stand for the Musicians Assistance Program. The purpose of MAP is to help musicians with drug and alcohol problems. And to support this good cause, Anthony and the Red Hot Chili Peppers joined with Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder and Jane's Addiction singer Perry Farrell at a sold-out show at the Hollywood Palladium where they raised a big chunk of money to help their fellow musicians get off of drugs. This week, the singer who rose from the ashes of his own addiction has the song that's been number 1 on the alternative chart for the last 10 weeks. Here on the pop chart, it climbs 2 notches to 29. This is Anthony Kiedis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers on American Top 40 with Scar Tissue.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw.
Counting down the hits with Casey Kasem.
Well, now we're up to the hit Other Side by a band whose leader has a style of dress all his own. He's appeared on stage wearing everything from a kilt to a tutu. His name is Anthony Kiedis, and when it comes to style, he definitely goes beyond the edge. Among his more memorable excursions into rock couture was the time he hit the stage dressed as an ancient Chinese emperor, complete with an embroidered red silk coat, baggy black silk pants, and a black silk hat. He's fond of wearing ballet tutus. He often shows up dressed in a kilt or a skirt. Anthony says he likes the loose feeling of wearing kilts and skirts. At Woodstock 94, Anthony Kiedis went on stage with a giant light bulb on his head, which kept flickering on and off throughout the show. He's even done shows with gigantic airplane wings strapped to his arms. People magazine has named Anthony Kiedis the worst-dressed man in rock. But his fans love his unusual style, and they love his music as well. Moving up 2 notches to number 29 in our survey, here's Anthony and the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Other Side.
Counting down the hits with Casey Kasem.
The demands are called riders, little personal perks that acts have written into their performance contracts. Over the years, we've heard about some zany perks. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, for instance, have to be supplied with a meditation room, while Christina Aguilera demands Flintstone vitamins, soy snacks, and organic vegetables. Prince insists that everything backstage must be wrapped in plastic, which is only removed when he arrives.
Countdown with Casey Kasem. Casey Kasem.
Well, now we're up to a smash by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a group whose lead singer's father is both a successful actor and the president of the band's fan club. Anthony Kiedis' father is John Kiedis, but his stage name is Blackie Dammit. Now, you may not be familiar with his name, but there's a good chance you're familiar with the dozens of TV shows and movies that he's been in. Blackie Dammit has appeared on hit TV shows like Charlie's Angels, Starsky and Hutch, Magnum P.I., and Who's the Boss. He's been in films like National Lampoon's Class Reunion and Lethal Weapon. But these days, John Kiedis is busy in a different part of the world of entertainment. You see, for the past decade, he's been the president of Rockin' Freakopotamus, the official worldwide Red Hot Chili Peppers fan club. You could say that Anthony's dad is the band's most Red Hot fan. This week, the Chili Peppers hold at number 15 with Danny, California.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
Now we're up to an American Top 20 extra by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a band whose leader is working on a series based on his wild life before he became a rock star. Anthony Kiedis grew up in Hollywood in the 70s. Back then, rock and roll was fueled by drugs and alcohol, and Anthony was right in the middle of it. His father was a drug dealer, making Anthony's life far from normal. And he's turning that life into a series for HBO that's due out by the end of 2009. Anthony says, "I've shed my tears. The painful part is all behind me. It's a good thing, a project I get to do with my father." Anthony's planning to narrate the series, but he won't be playing himself. He says, "So many years have passed. I can't play myself, but I can guarantee we'll have one of the best soundtracks on TV." Now, with an AT20 extra, here are the Red Hot Chili Peppers with a song from 1991, "Give It Away."